Hello, so today I'd like to talk about painting Wolfspear. It's a Space Wolf successor chapter from White Dwarf. I think it was 468. Anyway, starting off, we're gonna do a rattle can gray primer and a zenithal pretty shade with the airbrush with this ultima gray. You could use a white rattle can as well and just sort of take it at maybe a 45-degree angle, coming over the left-hand shoulder, or really any direction you want. I would just say keep it consistent over the whole army. And at the end of it, you're going to get this nice natural sort of shading. And then over the top of that, we're going to put this apothecary white contrast paint. Take an old brush and just dab it. I find that contrast paint works a lot better when you dab it rather than brush it in long strokes, especially over big panels like you get on Space Marines. And I think it's even more important with this Black Templar over the shoulder pads and the backpack, just dabbing it on to give a nice even coat over the smooth panels. Contrast paint is definitely easier over natural textures like fur or skin, that kind of thing. It can be a little bit trickier to do with smooth panels like this, but it can be done. Retributor armor is going to be the base for the gold. We are going to coat that again with a second coat with Liberator gold after this, because it's not quite so bright. I wanted it a little bit more brassy looking. But yeah, here we go with the Liberator gold. One thing I tend to find with a lot of the Citadel metallics, outside of say like lead belcher, is they need a lot of stirring frequently to keep them from separating, but they work great otherwise. Thondia brown for the leather parts. This is my go-to leather color. Nice neutral. Hardened leather. He's got a little bag on there. I don't know what's in there, but just breaking up the color versus the Thondia brown. Mephiston red for the lenses here. Just a real quick, and you can use whatever red you want. Ultima gray, we're going to do a chunky edge highlight. I'm going to use my sharp sable brush. It's a script liner. I really like script liner style brushes for doing edge highlighting. They come to a really nice sharp point. You can use the edge of them, you can use the point of them, and I've had this thing for over a year now, and it's just great. It's really held up well. Bold titanium white for the higher edge highlights. It's the best white on the market, I think. Really easy to use. You don't need to thin it a whole lot, just a little bit. It glazes really nicely too if you want to mix it with some acrylic medium. I think it's really designed for glazing, but it works great for everything. My only complaint is that some of the Pro Acryl colors are really flat. I wish they came in a bit more of a satin sheen like the GW paints or the Vallejo paints, but it's not so bad. XV88 for an edge highlight on that Thondia brown, just over the edges of the holsters and anything like that. And then also the these little, leather tongs or whatever they are. Flesh Terror's red. I'm doing this over there's a little jewel in the center of the chest there. You don't have to do it with this. You could use just a standard red. I like this over the gold because it gives it kind of a jewel tone. Just any old bone tone or off-white for that little rune trinket thing. Here I'm using this Vallejo orange fire color. You can use any orange you want. It really doesn't matter. I'll just do a quick little highlight in the middle of the lenses. Alright, next up we're going to do a chunky highlight on the black with Incubi Darkness. And this one, rather, you want to sort of push a little bit more for these chunky highlights. And it's a dark enough color that it'll be pretty subtle. Just on the big edges. Mechanicus standard gray, it's great, about 50% neutral gray. I'm just going to use that for some edge highlighting. We're going to use just the very tip here these pauldrons and anywhere else that needs some edge highlighting on the black. Just steady hand. If you can hold it still and kind of base it on the table with one hand and anchor your other hand, it makes it a lot easier to do those edge highlights. Here we're going to do some washes. These three. The Seraphim Sepia is going to go on the bone and the little tooth trinkets, just a little bit. This is a really great wash. I actually really like this one. Reichland Flesh Shade. I use this on the gold. I think it works great as a gold or brass wash color. Null oil on the silver, on the gun and the chain blade. Stormhouse Silver is great, bright silver. Again, keep this one stirred up because it will settle. And it'll be hard to work with, but just hitting all the highlights, all the silver bits, and some of the gold color stuff as well, just a little. So there you have it. It's all done. The basing I'm going to cover in a separate video, but that's the finished model. If you have any questions or comments or ideas, go ahead and leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And thanks for watching all the way to the end. Really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun to make, and we'll see you in the next one.